It's the Fatboy Show on your number one station, RX Radio. How you doing today? I hope you're taking good care of yourself, and especially today being a public holiday, Liberation Day. How about you use this time to recharge and get some rest? You know, I've noticed people don't know how to recharge and enjoy time off. If it's the weekend, for example, it's going to be hectic, running around from bar to bar, party to party. You're not even resting.
And those who have children over the week, or Friday, Saturday, they are in a bar. And then on Sunday, they are taking children for swimming.
Exactly. So you never have time to rest and to recharge your battery.
Yes.
So please, today on this public holiday and on Liberation Day, you know, just try and chill.
Act like you're liberated.
Liberated from life's problems, at least temporarily. Because guess what will happen if you don't? You'll have a mental breakdown. And I think there's a lot of people who are at risk of that here in Uganda. You know, mental illness is a big thing now. In fact, things are so bad that the people that are running our national referral mental health hospital at Butabika, they're saying that the health facility right now at Butabika is overwhelmed by the increasing number of mental health patients. You know, people's minds are breaking. And that's, of course, due to many things. It could be drugs, alcohol, and stress to a very large degree, and trauma. So this is untenable and unsustainable. So I feel like, I mean, I'm glad that this conversation is taking place, but I'd like for people to understand their own role in managing their mental health so as to not get to a point where they overwhelm their brains and things just break.
That's true.
Upstairs. So please do take better care of yourself. Now, obviously, Butabika Hospital is, you know, one of the main institutions we have that care for people suffering from these conditions, but they're getting overwhelmed, okay? So, according to the executive director, in the last 2 years before COVID struck, the 550-bed capacity hospital at Butabika would receive between 900 to 950 patients, which is now increased to between 1,000 and 1,050 currently in admission at the facility. She is advising people with patients at the facility to work hand in hand with the hospital to provide external support rather than abandoning them. All right? So, and guess what? 90% of the cases registered at Butabika are people that are aged between 18 to 25. These are young kids. These are children.
Yes.
So please, let's show some better care to ourselves and to our children.
And the things we expose our children to, because these 18 and 25-year-olds are addicted to drug abuse. They're addicted to drugs and alcohol.
Can you imagine? And I would think that broken homes have a lot to do with that. The fact that parents are not together, there's divorce rates are through the roof, and especially single moms. And for boys, without the guidance of a father, a lot of times they can get easily drawn into these vices, right?
And yeah, I agree with that. But I also there is a vice that we don't look at. The things children are exposed to while in boarding schools. Because I've talked to different guys that went to single-sex schools, and they say, I started smoking when I was at school. I started drinking when I was at school. So what things are our children exposed to in these schools where we take them and we think that they're safe?
What I think is you can't necessarily prevent exposure, but what you can prevent is influence. So if a child is brought up to respect themselves and to have high self-esteem, in spite of being exposed to all of these things, they may not be likely to adopt them. You know, so if he sees a group of his friends smoking behind the dormitory, he'll be like, no, that's not for me. I shouldn't do that. I don't want to get in trouble. Or if he sees a group of boys jumping over the fence to go drink at the nearby joint, as was the case in my school, you know, they'd be like, nah, it's not for me. I don't need to do that. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to embarrass my parents.
But we also know that these are adolescents, and there are things as things like peer pressure, where you want to fit in,
yes,
where
but
you
peer
want
pressure,
to seem cool.
But peer pressure works because there is an absence of a grounding in the person, in the young person especially, who has not been told to believe in themselves and to trust themselves and to be good boys and good girls. Essentially, they're looking for a place to belong, and they're not feeling that coming from their parents, who maybe are either too busy, and if it's especially for a single mom who may be working all the time, she may not have enough time to offer guidance to especially a boy to teach him the do's and don'ts, so that when he enters school, all of a sudden the gang leader is now the father figure, right? And we had some boys like that, very dominant boys that were a bit bigger than the rest of us, who we all admired and wanted to follow. For those who didn't have strong father figures, I could easily see them being led astray by boys like that.
So, yeah, you have a point. Single moms, because it's been said, and there is research to it, that boys raised by single mothers sometimes do not end up as upright members of society. But before I even say that it's because they are raised by single mothers, probably what I want to say is that, how about the guys, the dads? When a relationship ends and you leave your children behind, maybe try to be back, try to be involved, even if you're not with that woman. Try to stay in the life of your child, because it counts. A boy needs a father.
Yeah.
Just like a girl needs a father and a mother.
Of course. And so I think it is for anyone that has children, man or woman, or man and woman. Even if you do part ways, understand that your child had nothing to do with your disagreements.
That's true.
And your child needs both of you. So even if you're not together, try and make it so that you can be both available in this child's life. And I know it's hard. Maybe you hate the guy that sired your child.
Their guts.
Maybe you hate him because he cheated on you and ran off with your best friend, so you don't even want to look at him. But please, that's between you and him. Your children need the guy, need that father figure. And even guys do the same thing, where, oh, my baby mama, she's a slut. She just abandoned us and ran off with all these rich men.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. But that has nothing to do with you.
It has nothing to do with the child. The problem is that when we split with our partners, we forget to separate the children from the issue, from the reason why we split. We could have split because probably the chick was not loyal or the man was not loyal. But then you walking away and never looking back to check on your child, to be present in the life of your child, now that's on you. You're not going to wake up one day and say, well, I never took care of you. I never came to your rescue. I was never present because your mother cheated on me. It may make sense to you, but does it make sense to the child?
No, it doesn't. And they will be the ones to pay the price. So try to change and try and be different. Think about that today. But most importantly, as I mentioned at the start, try and take the day off and get some rest. Please. And keep listening to The Fatboy Show on RX Radio.